Alright, what's up, guys? What's up? And my camera is all screwy and shit. Alright, so. Um, Alright, cool. Um, I'm here, just doing some art. Yesterday, I was tired. Um, Kind of ran into a little bit of an issue just being tired and the lights. And if it seems a little bit darker now than normal, that's because too many lights fucking hurt my eyes. And right now, I am working on more art. And so I'm not gonna actually, set up both art stations and shit like that because both art pictures because you guys saw it. If you've been watching it for the last couple of days, um, you guys saw it what art I had up. Um, what I am gonna actually do is I got some new pens, and just to let you guys know, if you actually see point 1, point 3, and point 5, had to get some new pens. Um, this is a point 3 fine liner. Actually, take a look at it. Autofocus, autofocus. It's a point 3 fine liner. And let's see. It's running out, and I got some markers. I got different markers, so let's make sure that doesn't fuck up the picture. Okay, cool. So I had to get some different markers. And I'm just feeling so comfortable with these markers. I may not even put them back in the carrying case that I normally carry them in because they're just it's just so much easier for me to actually figure out what markers that I have. And so let's actually work on this art. So when we last left off, we were actually looking at the gold armor, and what I was trying to do was just give it a little bit more feel. So kind of I don't know, separate the difference of the colors. Just give it a little bit more taste and difference. And now we're gonna actually just work on her skin. I think that was pralines that I was using. Or almond, yeah. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna use more of an almond on her. And I'm gonna come back in kind of like do a little bit more shadowing. I wonder if you guys can actually see the difference in it. And let me just actually tune up my camera, give it a little bit more zoom. Saying that this is actually a better camera, and I don't have to have it as zoomed out as I did before. So yeah, that's actually best. Okay, cool. So if you can actually see the color correction, just a little bit of a difference, so we can actually know what her color is going to be on her face. And I think that's a little bit more natural of a color. Now, you use kind of like the praline color. So, kind of like the off part of the shadows. Yeah, I guess I'll go with this color. Kind of like more of the outline of the shadows and things like that part of her neck, shit like that. I'm not trying to get it too dark, but still like enough of a gradation. Maybe I can actually just lighten it up with some the kind of like the dirty pink or dusty pink. Yeah, the dusty pink is actually lightening it up, so that's cool. Again, I'm actually just trying this, and I know that may sound like an excuse, but it's just like it's one of those things where it's just like, really, what am I trying to accomplish? Now, if you guys want to purchase this, of course, I can actually put it out for purchase. But this is just me learning a new technique. One of the things that I really, really enjoy is, especially with my own characters, not just something I'm just copying, but just one of those things where I'm just like, how far can I push myself? How far can I push my imagination? And seeing that I didn't use a model for this, I am using some of a model, but I'm not using like a full model. And I think I'm gonna actually take that color a little bit darker. So that's warm gray 6. Let's do 2 shades darker. Oh, there we go. That's that's that good shit. Oh, that's that good shit. All right, so that's oh, it's in that shit. Now let's like the hair is always weird for me. Especially like I don't normally do hair where it's just like a helmet hair basically. Let's see if I can get it with this. Kind of mimicking the style that I saw with like Goku that I've seen before. It'll work where you'll see like a sliver of light, and then all the rest will be black. All right, guess that's still something I need to work on. All right, let's get to the leggings because I really want to do the leggings now. I did the super gray. I did that, and hold on, guys. I want to check something. Kind of like mimic some of the shit that I already did with the other leg, and I know it seems like I'm kind of cheating, but I'm still fucking learning. So and some of that's gonna actually go away when I start working on the cape. So let's do this. All right, so I forgot what color I used. It seems like it was cool gray one. All right, cool. So cool. Okay, so let's all right, cool. Yeah. And that's something that I didn't kind of do fully on this leg like I wanted to on this one. But, I'm working on it. One of the things that I do want to actually say, guys, I okay, so you guys got me this morning. I really want to actually start watching the second episode of Altered Carbon, and if you actually seen Altered Carbon, the it's actually an interesting show. It's talking about transhumanism. Are we our mind? Are we our bodies? Or are we our or do we have a soul? And the principle of Altered Carbon is you have your body, which they colloquially call it as a sleeve. But here's the thing. You have a stack, like a little disc, where you are literally that disc. You are that disc who um, your stack can actually, the information in your stack can actually be put in another disc. And you only have true death when your stack is destroyed. And it follows a guy, Kovacs. I don't know how to pronounce his full name, so I'm just gonna call him Kovacs. And it's just an awesome show. And if you haven't watched it, I would definitely encourage you to watch it. That's a little too dark. But we're going with it. And I fucked up. Okay. No, it's cool. It's cool. Because the shadow is supposed to be on the underside, and I fucked up. Alright. Alright, so let's work on this cape. This cape is gonna be something fucking. Okay, so let's talk about the cape. The cape itself is like, I've originally changed it from a fucking red cape to the second drawing that I did with Lily to a black one. Because I thought it'd actually be gold with silver trim with a black fucking cape. And for the most part it does, but some of the actual pictures that I do, it kind of conflicts. Like this one, it will fucking conflict. Now, not to say that other times I've done a character that it doesn't conflict, it's just like this one, just because of the shading and gradation that I'm trying to do, it may literally conflict a little bit. Now, I could actually change that dynamic by just having it flow out. And nothing I've done so far would actually kind of stop that. But it's just one of those things where it's just like, dude, it's clashing. And so that's why I waited so long to actually work on the cape, because it would definitely clash with her leggings. Now, I can always put it where it flashes out that way, but it's cut off, or I can flash it out this way, and it kind of falls into what you see with like Lotus. But the thing about it is, this is why I left it as like a final decision, because it's just what's up, Vegeta? What's up, man? What's up? Thanks for tuning in, dog. Now, the thing is, I'm gonna be doing some great dynamics with the cape. Now, this is actually the one that I'm going to finally go through. This was like a rough draft. See how the actual sketching would actually be, and there's some things that I actually touched up with this one, such as if you can actually see the difference between the two of them. I actually made the belt, the headband a little bit better. I added the belt here, kind of changed the foot. I mean the hand and the foot, made it a little bit more dynamic. Um, One thing that I'm glad about, I changed the. Let's see if you guys can see it. I changed the two hand dynamics, so you can actually see there, and just overall improvement. So that's one of the things that I'm actually going. That's why I'm gonna keep this one, but this one, I try color pencils on it. I don't know. So I'm still kind of deciding on and this is like it's no strange for me. Like think about it. I went from these two. So and I don't like the way this cape conflicts. So I can blow it out, and you'll actually see kind of like a better picture of it. So now I can always just leave it no cape, or throw a short cape, or I don't know, but it's just like I'm tending probably to go with the cape, kicking it out towards Lotus, and just make sure from there and just changing it that way. God, it feels good to have a day of rest. All right, so I know people may be wondering why do I draw straight through? Like it's just easiest way for me to keep the lines going. So that way I can actually keep the line going, and it just gives me a more complete picture. And also by doing that, I can actually see some folds or creases actually that I can put later on in the actual goddamn picture. So if the cape is flowing out this way, and I know that the arm is right there, that line that I originally continued the arm with, I can actually have right here. Erase that from the main picture. Um, it's gonna cause a crease right here, and with it causing a crease right there, I can actually use that later on to like give some dynamics to the cape. And like Edna said, capes can be a little bit dangerous. That's why she says no capes. But it just gives a dynamic of this virtuous night. Yeah. And that's the thing is that's kind of like what I wanted to do to like kind of see how it just blows in the wind, and that's one of the reasons why I do headbands with Lotus. It actually it just gives it more of a sense of dynamic, and yeah, the 3D effect is nice, but it's for me it's the color catching, the eye catcher. So I'm actually using these a little bit as a guideline of just dynamics that you would actually see in a cape. And I'm going to use those later to actually reflect the light tones in the dark tones. So let's go ahead and work with this. So yeah, warm grade 3 should be good. Now mind you, I'm going to use this as the lightest tone of the cape. But I just want to have a consistent overlay of it. And that doesn't look like that's going to happen. At least with that. Yeah, this marker is almost gone. But the kind of washed outness would actually play to my favor. Especially what I plan on doing with it. Oh, by the way, I watched some of the weirdest shit last night. So I'm watching drag stream last night when Xavier mentions the me 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 video. That was some of the weirdest fucking shit that I've ever seen before. If it ever gets like that where I'm locked in a room and I'm fantasizing about my anime characters coming to life, I want somebody to buy me a prostitute. I'm just gonna say it. Like, buy me a prostitute, get me the fuck out the house. Alright, so let's get a little bit of a darker color. And as you can see, I'm actually using the lines that I did with graphite as kind of like a guide to where I want to actually have the color at. Sort of like the folds that you will see in Toriyama style, kind of um, Dragon Ball Z type thing. And I'm gonna actually go over it just a little bit. Oh, Vegeta, if you haven't, check out the type into YouTube me. All right, so and you guys, it took me like an hour to organize all these markers. Shit, it was fun, but it was like this is what my life is really. Let's get that cool gray, number 11. And I'm not doing too much like I did with the last one. The last one, I was just haphazardly just putting stuff down. For this one, I'm kind of following more of an outline of what I want as far as the cape goes. And this is what I mean. I was just doing it to look fucking cool. This one is a little bit more of an outline, more of a plan. And what did I have? Let's do cool. I think I had cool gray 6, so just kind of. Yeah, I want it a little bit lighter than that. Let's do 4. Because I want to actually blend it this way. Not such a hard transition. Alright, so put that shit back in order as I should. Alright, so let's actually draw the outline of the cape now. I use a little bit too dark of a gray I see on the darkest parts. It doesn't make the edges stand out like I want to, but at least it actually gives it it actually looks a little bit better than what I thought it would. I can always take a lighter color and remove some of that gray. That's the fun thing about coloring with markers. Once you realize how impermanent some of the colors are, and how messing up, it's not really messing up unless you just totally fuck up. The dynamic that you actually get with them is fucking awesome. So, yeah, I'm gonna take some of that gray color out. So, neat little trick. Let's go back to the cool gray 5. And if this doesn't work, it's not working. So what I'm gonna do is get the fuck in there. This is just the blender pen, and the blender pen is actually fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome because it basically, if you're not careful, it can actually eat through. But like, it's basically a marker eraser or lightener. And if you actually see it as it's drying, it's actually coming up a lot lighter. I need something to clean my brush off with. Okay, yeah. You just have to make sure you keep cleaning the brush off. Yeah. I effectively use it as an eraser. And I think this is why I like working with acetone markers. It's just like it's become my favorite medium. All right, so let's kind of work on this silver. I should be very, very careful. All right, so I'm gonna take it 2 shades up. Just so it's a contrast between the two of them. And then when I blend it, it actually looks more like one. It's only a step of 1 shade up. Alright. This one is going to actually be a little bit easier. And this is where that contrast of that belt comes in. Now, from the shadows, I'm actually going to take it from C4, Cool Gray 4 to Cool Gray 1. It's just the little touches I put on, and if I ever thought it would actually get, you know, not as good. And then again, just take my blender and cut back a little bit and just draw some of that color out back towards the lower part. That's what I did right here. Is I used too dark of a color, and I just got the front part of it just so I can get a little bit of a shine. So, all right. So I've actually completed this one. I don't know, guys. I don't know which one is. Would you go for A? Well, I guess this is B. Would you go for A? This is A. And this is B. Which one would you guys do? Forgot the little feet part. All right, cool. So, let that dry a little bit. Let's go ahead and put that right here. Give it an outline for the boots. Alright, so this is a finished product. Alright, so this is actually one of the ones that I have been working on, and let me just pull my camera out. Oh. All right. So this is actually a little bit of a different one. So, just to give some heads up, did that one. What actuality was, this one was first. And I like drawing in stories. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool, but let's start with this one first. So I did this one first. I've colored this one first. I'm going to this one. But I actually want to get one where you actually see, and it's gonna be changed. I know it's gonna be changed. What you're actually gonna see, and this is just like probably I'm gonna be working on it, but I'm gonna actually draw it where like from here you'll see the cape actually coming down from the movement. Give it like a flowing cape and all that other good shit. And you actually see like you see Lily go into the stance and literally like and so I'm gonna say this. Lily is like Lotus is right handed. So I mean like from the fucking fight stance, she's right handed. Um this is how much I think about my characters. Um and that's why when you actually look at the pictures that I have, like you'll see Lotus with a right hand shield guard. Um, and she always carries her katana in her right hand. It's just one of those fighting stance things. I don't know. I, I first I was making a thing, but it's like, yeah, but still, this is how I want to go. But Lily, when I actually conceptualized her character, I conceptualized that she is left-handed. So if you go to the I don't forget what it's called, Brave Knight or something like that. She has her shield in her right hand, and it's the shield that makes her with my little symbol on it, and her broadsword in her left hand. So I made her fucking left-handed, and that's one of the things about her. She is left-handed, but I don't know if I have it. Like, and this is just a sparring session, but literally, I want to make it where she dodges the hit from the little hand swipe. But if you actually see her, she's in a fucking ball position, like in a crouching position. And maybe because I literally just watched Street Fighter: The Assassin's Fist, I want her to come up and do a fucking fucking Ayugen. Like that's what I finally want the fucking like. That's what I want. Like one of the like last scenes to actually be. But fucking Lotus, with seeing it, she's gonna be flipped back. Like I don't know. It's just like I'm testing the limits of my character and positioning drawing. That's what I fucking love about myself. I love to push this shit. Shit is fucking awesome. So, this is just like something else I'm working on. I'll probably be working on the final color of this sometime later. I still got some things that I want to change with the positioning. One of the things that I really, really like, if you actually look, one of the things I'm always concerned about is how the base of the footing actually looks. Now, I gotta kind of change the head. I think I'm gonna want to rotate it just a little bit. But this footing, even though it's not perfect, I think that it's fucking awesome. I think it's fucking awesome because it actually denotes the turn in the foot and the position towards the camera. Originally, if it's got a lot of eraser marks, and I don't know if you guys can actually see it, but if you actually look right here, just change the way the clothes go. And this is kind of one of the reasons why I like my original characters, because I can actually play with the designs and the way the folds of the clothes and shit like that. So, like for instance, I know that's where the leg is, and I'm gonna actually. So this right here isn't gonna be a continuous line, but I know the leg is gonna actually aggravate that up, and I know the leg is gonna aggravate it up here. And I may actually like make this leg a little bit smaller, but it's just one of those things that I figure out when I'm actually drawing. just small details like this. And if you're actually learning how to draw, or if you're practicing, somebody like myself, self-taught, it's just some of the things that you kind of got to have an eye for. Now, for those of you guys who are fortunate enough to take art classes, my hat goes out to you. If you've had that, I am not knocking you at all. It's just that some of the shit that I have to do self-taught from. So let's work on this coloring. So we know the basic principles of the colors that I'm going to use. We know the basic principles. Now with this, I was actually a little bit free with the light source. In general, it was coming down. In general, it was just coming down. I know that. Duh. But I'm going to actually try to work a little bit more with the light source from this one. So what I'm going to actually do is this. Since I have the base one, and I do have not only just a rough draft, but I have a graphite that I did with this one. I'm just going to actually use this to kind of color what I want with a pencil and see the light source. So I'm going to actually have the light source coming down this way. So everything, the light source should actually be coming this way. So let's just draw some distinctions, which I know that there's going to actually be. So this is going to be light. Label that light. This is going to be dark. Have that light, have that dark. Have a little bit of light right here, but dark, and we're gonna have that dark right here. We're gonna have a differential between this two fingers and that two fingers. We're gonna have light, and that's gonna flip because light source is coming this way. This is gonna be light. This is gonna be light, but this is gonna be dark right here, and that's how that's gonna go. This is gonna be mostly dark because the light coming from this way, but you're gonna have a little slither of light right here, and going right here. This is gonna flip to dark, and this is gonna fit because the light is still coming this way. I'm gonna have light right here, dark right here, and I guess you're gonna have the whole thing dark. This is actually gonna be light. This is gonna be dark. Light, dark. Again, the light coming this way. This is gonna be, draw this. This is still gonna be, it's gonna stop right here, and that's gonna all be dark. This is gonna be a little bit of light. This is gonna be a little light, and right here it's gonna be dark right here. This is gonna be light right here. Cut that off. This is gonna be light and dark. This is going to be a little bit of light, and this is going to be a little bit of dark. This is going to be a little bit of island of light right here, because that ass is round. It's going to be dark. This is going to actually be dark, and this is actually going to be light. This is going to be dark. All right, So we got our light source, and we got the ideas of how I'm gonna color it. Ah. All right. It's just gonna. It's gonna be a little bit light, and it's gonna actually shade to dark right here. This is gonna be. No, actually, it's gonna have a slither of light, but that's gonna be dark, and the rest of this is gonna be dark. It's gonna actually have to be a little light right here, and a island of dark. And I guarantee you guys, I'm gonna actually try to work this where it actually works well on the breast. I'm still trying to learn the breast, but of course the rest of it is gonna be dark. And I'm just doing a little bit of a binary right here because I know I'm gonna use tri-shade coloring, but definitely dark, dark, light, and it's gonna be dark. Now, the face is gonna be difficult to break up because that's gonna be dark, that's gonna be dark, that's gonna be light, this is gonna be dark. The face is gonna be difficult. I know how to do that when I get there. Light, light. A little bit more light. Dark. Shadow this far is going to be light. And I'm trying to get where I know the muscles would actually be. Dark. Dark. That part of the cape is gonna actually be dark, going into kind of mirroring what the rest of the cape is, and that's gonna actually go into dark. That's gonna be dark, and it's gonna be mostly dark. This is gonna actually get an island out here of light and light-ish. That's gonna be a little bit of light going into dark, and this is all gonna be just light right here and dark. That's also gonna be light. Oh my god, I have the confidence to do it, but like I have the wherewithal to do it, but just being this ambitious about it. It's just like, ah, shit. All right. The only thing I can do is just fuck it up if it comes down to it and redo it. All right, we'll set this to the side. Oh, all right, guys. Give me like 2 minutes, and then we're gonna actually start this. So I'll be right back. Shit. All right. So, yeah, I just talked big shit about this. All right, so let's just think about something too. Also, want to think about the colors that I want to actually use, specifically in the hair. So, one of the things I want to actually do in the hair is this color. That's actually something I can actually get out the way because I'm still trying to make sure that I get the right color that I want in the hair. And this is the lightest color that I'm actually doing in the hair, so I don't really have too much of a big issue with it. All right, so that's there. Shit, I just talked a big game about this. Um, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna do C, Cool Gray 6. Just for the fucking hair alone. Because say what you want, fucking Lily is a brunette, and I'm just trying to get that dynamic of color in the hair itself. All right, that's the easy part. Shit. All right, so fuck me. And obviously, I didn't realize that I didn't put the belt in the other one. Yeah, yeah. All right, so this is why I really don't like doing this on camera, especially just from like not having a test because I'm sitting back just like trying to decide, and I see why other people actually speed up their art shit. But all right, so let's let's actually address a few things. So, oh shit, sorry guys. Forgot about that. You know what? For this test, I think I'm only gonna do two colors, two dynamic colors, and just use a lot of blending. And see what style I like from there. Because three dynamic colors are fine, but to be honest with you, it's taking too much fucking work. When I can actually just blend. And if I need to do three, I can always do three. I was thinking about doing the color books too, but that means I would have to redo a lot of my art. And even though I actually do have like rough drafts or copy drafts that I can actually put and do the art in, but it's just a lot of fucking work. Oh, I like that dynamic right there. I fucking love that dynamic. And I think that's the dynamic I'm gonna actually use when I finally do this. Actually, give me that shit right now. And this is one of the things that, like, with going through it and just coloring it, that I think I just like to appeal to. All right, sorry guys, I just got that idea that I needed to change it at that time. So Let me actually see something because I want to like look at something. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, yeah, I did have that. Okay, cool. Just looking from like the point of view of like the body, and I just want to make sure I had that right. Okay, cool. All right. I gotta make sure I remember to put that as dark. All right, so yeah, gotta remember this is a dynamic drawing. One of the reasons why I started doing dynamic drawings is because I um I got tired of doing static pose drawings. There's only so many times you can actually do a pose where your character is just, you know, just me mugging for the camera. Maybe that's just me. I think I'm gonna have to change it up just a little bit. Do I have my canary? I think I'm out of canary. No matter. So these are actually the last of these artist loft markers. and it's a shame that I get addicted to using them, and I'm using them in most of my art, especially when they're discontinued. But the reason why I got them is because they're fucking discontinued. Now, they are better than these motherfuckers right here. These Artist Loft, they are better. But like, they're where people actually try to compare this, and I've been saying this recently. People try to compare these to Prismas. No, they're not comparable to Prismas at all whatsoever. Don't even think that they're comparable to Prismas. But these motherfuckers are comparable to these. If you actually look at the Winston and Newton, they're comparable to those. It's just that they're not comparable to Prismas. And these are actually comparable to, Copics. I say Prisma. These are comparable to Prismas. I've actually had some Prisma markers that were discontinued, and it was left lacking. But I know why people like them, and I know why people actually enjoy them. But like, I like these. I put a little bit more detail in the fingers and Lotus on this one. No, not Lotus, Lily. And I know y'all wondering why I'm like all of my like super powerful warrior women are named after fucking flowers. Now I put Daisy. Daisy is her nickname that I call her because it's really Arcturus, which is African Daisy, but I just call her Daisy for short. It's just one of those things where aliases. Lotus is of course um, a is it a Japanese lily? I don't fucking know. Of course, we have regular lily, and Rose is the fucking archer. So if you were wondering why I keep throwing out the names that way, actually I think it was smart using this bright of a color so I can show the contrast when I get to actually putting the contrast up. Although it still does look like a fucking yellow ass highliner. So I want to give her a little bit lighter color eyes. Last time I gave her too dark of her eyes. Time to color the skin. Now I'm not gonna repeat the same mistake that I did before in the other picture. Even though I'm happy the way it turned out, I still want to kind of go lighter for. And then if I gotta go darker, I can go darker. So this is actually blush. Surprisingly, like, is, I don't know. I know I made this comment before about like how my characters are dressed and how the midriff. I just like midriffs. But I noticed that I actually don't have them doing a lot of skin. The only one that I really do have doing a lot of skin is fucking Lotus. And that's because she was the first one I drew, and it was like, oh yeah, because reasons. And I think that's the problem that I did last time. I started off with um, too dark of a color with fucking Lotus on the last picture. Even though I like the shading I did with it a little bit better, I start off with a little bit too dark of a color. So I'm gonna actually use Dusty Pink for her as her base color. Or is a highlight color, I should say. And I thought her muscles looked a little janky from the back till I saw that picture that I used kind of like reference. And like, no, the shit is just like, of course, this is it's actually more realistic than what I give myself credit for. I don't know if you guys saw this when I used this picture, but let's see if I can actually pull it up. Hold on. I'm actually gonna pull this up, and this is like the craziest shit that I even thought. Where is? Okay, here it is. Let's do this just a little bit. I was like, no, she gonna look weird with her back, and I'm like, oh shit, no, this female is just like, oh shit, like, and let's see, like, I'm like, oh shit, maybe I don't have it wrong, like, just like shit like this, just my reference photos. I needed to stop because yeah. Oh, Dreams came out today, like, or came out over the weekend. I'm not buying that shit. Like, not that I'm not buying that shit. I can't buy that shit right now because it looks fucking awesome. But Dreams. All right, let me finish coloring. I just that quick. I lost my stroke. You got to be master at your stroke game. Yeah, I'm a 14-year-old. Humor of a 14-year-old boy. I don't exactly like the hands that I did here, but I understand why I did them. I actually want to work on the whole idea of distorting a distortion of the body to show better movement, but one of the things that working on these last three or four drawings has actually helped me is just learning how to draw feet better. I was proficient with hands, but feet was a little bit different. But I've been becoming a little bit more proficient with feet. All right, so and while I'm thinking about it, I want to make sure I draw a line down the back where the spine would actually be, just so I can know to like shape that in a little bit better. And again, this is shit that I think of while I'm doing it. So, I think I'm just gonna lay down the base colors and just come back to it at a later day. I've been at it for what, about an hour and a half. So yeah, and worry about the cape later. Well, not do the cape. Let's fucking cool gray. And you guys can see how the color stands out now. All right, that was a cool grade 3. And like I said, like I'm gonna remember it next time. But let's use cool grade 5. And again, with this one, if it's too dark, I can always just pull the color. I can actually just pull the color with the blender. Just going through it. I might change a little bit of the dynamic. All right. So I want to actually say this part is going to be light. And I'm going to have a little bit of slither of dark. Alright, so let's just finish the cape out, and then from there we're gonna finish this out. Since this doesn't take much finessing. Alright. So that's as much as I'm going to do today, guys. Like, if you can, tell me in the comments section if you like the idea that I'm doing with the actual shading. You got any tips, any information for me, any like comments, questions, and also let me know if you like we're gonna call this A, and we're gonna call this B. So if you like A in the comment section, put A if you like this shading, or put B if you like this shading. Anyway, guys, just thanks for watching, and I'm going to probably be on later on with some commentary, but for right now, I'm going to just take a little bit of break, and thank you guys for watching. Peace.